Have you ever met someone and just thought, wow, are they for real? It's a tricky thing, isn't it? No one wants to be judgmental, but sometimes certain behaviors just make you scratch your head. Today, we're diving into a topic that might ruffle some feathers, but it's something we've all wondered about. The signs of a genuinely unintelligent person. And stick around, because the last sign is the most surprising one of all, and it's something many of us might be guilty of without even realizing it. First up, a classic sign. They always have to be right. You know the type, you're in a casual conversation, maybe debating the best pizza topping, and suddenly it turns into a high-stakes argument. They can't just agree to disagree. They'll argue until they're blue in the face, even when presented with solid facts that prove them wrong. This isn't about confidence, it's about a fragile ego that can't handle being corrected. True intelligence involves knowing that you don't know everything and being open to learning from others. When someone is completely closed off to new information, it's a major red flag. The second sign is a complete lack of curiosity. Think about the smartest people you know. They're probably always asking questions, reading, and exploring new ideas. They have hobbies and interests that they're passionate about. On the flip side, someone who lacks intellectual spark often shows no interest in the world around them. They're content with what they already know and have no desire to learn more. They don't read books. They don't ask why, and they might even mock others for being nerdy or book smart. A mind that isn't curious is a mind that isn't growing. Sign number 3. They react with anger or aggression when challenged. This ties back to the first point. When you question their opinion or point out a flaw in their logic, they don't respond with a thoughtful counterargument. Instead, they get defensive. They might raise their voice, resort to personal insults, or try to shut down the conversation entirely. This is a defense mechanism. Because they can't defend their position with logic and reason, they use intimidation and anger as a shield. Intelligent discourse involves respect, even in disagreement. When emotions consistently overpower reason, it signals a lack of intellectual maturity. Fourth on our list is an over-reliance on simple, black and white thinking. The world is a complex, nuanced place, but for some, everything is either good or bad, right or wrong, with no room for gray areas. They struggle with abstract concepts and prefer simple, concrete answers. This often leads to prejudice and stereotyping, because it's easier to lump people into categories than to understand individual complexities. They see things in absolutes, which is a very limited and often inaccurate way to view the world. The fifth sign is a big one. Blaming others for their own mistakes. Accountability is a cornerstone of maturity and intelligence. When a smart person messes up, they own it. They say, "My bad, I'll fix it," and they learn from the experience. A less intelligent person, however, will always find someone or something else to blame. It's the traffic's fault. They were late. Their boss's fault. They didn't get the promotion. The universe's fault that their life isn't going well. This victim mentality prevents them from ever growing, because if nothing is ever their fault, there's no reason for them to change or improve. Sign number 6. They are terrible listeners. Communication is a two-way street, but for them, it's a monologue. When you're talking, they're not actually listening to understand you. They're just waiting for their turn to speak. They'll interrupt you, finish your sentences for you incorrectly, usually, or their eyes will glaze over as they read clearly, just thinking about what they're going to say next. Truly intelligent people are often fantastic listeners because they know that every conversation is an opportunity to learn something new. And finally, the 7th and most subtle sign. They consistently surround themselves with people who are less intelligent than they are. This is about comfort zones. It feels good to be the smartest person in the room. It boosts the ego and means you're never challenged. But smart people actively seek out others who are smarter than them. They want to be challenged. They want their ideas to be tested, and they want to be inspired. If someone is always the big fish in a small pond by choice, it's often a sign that they're afraid of being exposed as not so smart after all. It's an intellectual insecurity that keeps them stagnant. So there you have its 7 behaviors that can signal a lack of intelligence. It's less about IQ scores and more about attitude, curiosity, and humility. Recognizing these traits can help us have more meaningful interactions and, more importantly, check ourselves to make sure we're not falling into these traps. Thank you so much for watching. What do you think? Did I miss any signs? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this interesting, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content that makes you think. See you in the next one.